Ya, silakan. So, last week we have started about skimming.
Okay, good morning. We are from group 4 and today we will try to explain about skimming. Skimming. What is skimming? The skim is to pass quickly over material as quickly as you can, while getting a general holistic view of the content. Skimming is not for situations where a high level of comprehension is required, but is very useful when it may be appropriate to accept a level of comprehension somewhat lower than that obtained at average reading speeds. You should aim for the main ideas, the outline, the major supporting details, and an idea of the organizational pattern. Skimming is most useful for obtaining a surface understanding and is not recommended for in-depth understanding or analysis. The difference between skimming and versus scanning. Skimming involves searching for the main ideas by reading the first and last paragraphs. Nothing other organizational cues such as summaries used by the author. Scanning Meanwhile, scanning involves running your eyes down the page looking for specific facts or keywords and phrases.
Okay. Exercise 1. The first text. We cannot drink seawater for 2 reasons. First, the bacterial count may be too high for our health. The second and main reason is that the salt content of seawater, about quarter pound of salt to a gallon of water, is too great for the human body. Even though certain amount of salt is necessary for body cells to stay healthy, and excess leads to dehydration and death. So the question is, what is this text mostly about? The answer is D, why it is dangerous to drink seawater. Next, please.
Text 2. For text 2, there are 4 basic ingredients that go into the recipe for making soil. Tiny pieces of rock, decayed plants and animals, water and air. When small pieces of rock break off larger ones, they form the basis of all soil. This breaking can occur in several ways through the action of glaciers pushing rocks along the ground and grinding them against other rocks, through the action of chemicals in water eating away at rocks, open through the force of wind throwing sand and pebbles against rocks, and through the movement of plants' roots splitting rocks apart. This rocky ground-up material is called the parent material of the soil. The question is, what is the text mostly about? It's C, how rocks break down to form soil.
Okay, the third text is sound waves are movement or vibration in the air made by sound. When the sound waves enter the canal of your outer ear, they hit your eardrum, a thin sheet of tissue stretched tightly along the canal that separates your outer ear from your middle ear. As the sound waves hit, the eardrum begins to vibrate much the same way that a drum does when it is hit with a stick. The vibration of the eardrum causes 3 teeny bones in your middle ear to vibrate too. They, in turn, send vibration to a liquid that fills the deepest part of your inner ear. The moving liquid presses on the nerve cells which control your hearing, and this in turn
Yeah, so the moving liquid presses on the nerve cells which control your hearing, and these in turn pass the sound message on to your brain. So what is the text mostly about? What is the answer? C, yeah. The process by which we hear sound, yeah. Okay, next, text 4.
These are For text 4, these are some activities your body automatically continues whether you're awake or asleep. Without them, you could not go on living. For example, your heart beats and you breathe, your blood continues to flow, bringing food and oxygen to all the cells in your body. Sleep is also the time when those
Body cell.
body cells that have worked hard all day and become worn out are repaired, replaced, and build up new supplies of energy for the following day. This is also the time when you grow the most. During sleep, your brain, which pays attention to the outside world when you're awake. Now take a rest. Your eyes closed so that your brain does not get signals about things you see when you're awake. Ordinary sounds also do not disturb you now. Your brain is still active to keep you alive, but you lose the sense of being yourself. This is called consciousness. What is the text mostly about? It's D, consciousness.
Okay, the fifth text. Even though the zebra is a member of the horse family, its unusual color pattern sets it apart from its relatives. The zebra's parallel strips of black or brown on a white or almost white background are like a design which cover the whole animal, even its tail, mane, and ears. Zebras have strips to make them blend in with the scenery and to keep them safe from attack. This is very much like what the soldiers do in wartime, as they cover their helmets with leaves and attempt to hide their artillery by drawing leaf-covered nets over them to blend them in with the scenery. This is called camouflage. To the zebra doesn't know this word. It practices camouflage very effectively. Since zebra live in the same grassland as lion, their main enemy, this protection is very necessary. The question is, what is this text mostly about? The answer is A, how zebras protect themselves for their predators.
Okay, for text the sixth text. Billions of dust and water particles are constantly floating in the air. The sky gets its color from the sun, whose sunlight is a mixture of violet, blue, red, green, yellow, and orange rays, all the colors of the rainbow. When the sun is high in the sky, these red, orange, yellow light rays stream down the earth from the sun, and we see the sun as yellow. But the violet, blue, green rays behave differently. They do not stream down, so when we look up, they stream down directly to Earth instead. They are scattered by the dust and water particles in the air. So when we look up, we see the blue light rays reflected by the particles or a blue sky. When sun is sinking low near the horizon at sunset, the violet, blue, green light rays follow an even longer scattered path in atmosphere than during the day. So we see more reds and yellows, which make the sunset look red. What is the text mostly about? It's D, why the sun and the sky have different colors at different times of the day.
Okay, text
Okay,
7.
next, the seventh text. Blood looks as if it is solid red, but it really is not. If you look at blood under a microscope, you will see that it is made up of 4 different parts: plasma, red blood cells, white blood cell, and platelets. The plasma, which is the actual fluid, is a yellowish white liquid. It contains the red blood cells, the white blood cells, and the platelets, along with proteins, mineral,
Digested, digested food and waste.
digested food, and waste. However, there are more red blood cells in the blood than any of these other substances. And it is the hemoglobin, a red pigment, in the red blood cells that gives your body its color.
Your
The
blood.
question is,
Mhm.
what is this text mostly about? The answer is A, why blood looks red.
Okay, so this is the 8th text. The weight of air pushing against the earth is what weathermen call air pressure. The weight changes from place to place and from time to time in the same place. These changes are sometimes caused by changes in temperature. When the sun's heat warms the air, it makes the air currents rise skyward. Since warm air's less than cold air, the warm air push less against the earth or exerts low pressure. When the heavier cold air pushes with more weight against the earth, it exerts heavier or high pressure. So what is the text mostly about? It C, the influence of temperature on air pressure.
Okay, text 9. Mungkin yang lainnya bisa di mute ya. Oke, next. Text 9.
Okay, the 9th text. Your blood has special cells in it that fight disease and infection. These cells, called white blood cells, are produced in your bone marrow, the soft tissue that fills the inside of your bones. White blood cells work like an army to attack and kill harmful germs that get into your body. When an infection develops on your skin, for example, the bone marrow produces more white blood cells than usual. These white cells, soldiers move to the, the area where the germs are and actually chew them up and destroy them. They also eat away at the tissue around the germ and soften and liquefy liquefy it. The white cell then break apart and along with the destroyed germs and liquefied tissue from the thick yellow-white substance called pus. The pus oozes out of the infection slowly and dries up as the wound heals. The question is, what is this text mostly about? The answer is D, the function of white blood cells.
Yeah, the function of white blood cells. Yeah, for text 9. Yeah, the answer is D. Next, text 10.
All right. Okay. Hello, ma'am. I'm sorry I was late coming to the
Okay.
meeting. Hi, ma'am. Okay, for text 10, I'm going to read the whole text. The elephant uses its trunk in more ways than any animal uses any part of its body. The trunk is both amazingly strong and very delicate. With it, an elephant can pull down a mighty tree or gently take a peanut from a child's hand. The elephant smells, drinks, and feeds itself with its trunk. No animal has a better nose, and an elephant depends heavily on its sense of smell. When the elephant does find food, it lifts up the food with its trunk and bring it to its mouth. An elephant does not, however, drink through its trunk. Rather, it sucks up the water through the trunk and then squirts it into its mouth, swallowing with a loud gurgling sound. Elephants also use their trunks to give themselves showers. So elephants belong to the group of mammals called pachyderms, which means thick skin. Actually, their skin is very tender. Even though their skin is 1 inch thick, Elephants have no layer of fat under their skin, so they are very sensitive to cold and extreme heat. On hot days, elephants cool off by giving themselves a shower with their trunks. An elephant's trunk can hold 6 liters of water. Elephants can also feel the shape of objects with their trunks, as well as determine whether these objects are hot or cold, rough or smooth. The mother elephant guides her babies along with her trunk and also uses it to caress her mate. Trunks are also used in fighting. Here, the elephant grabs its enemy with its trunk and then uses its tugs as weapon. What is the text mostly about? Okay, jawabannya, the answer is C, how elephants use their trunks.
Okay, now exercise 2.
Okay, exercise 2 is from a text called Pulp Friction, for everyone who knows. Everyone can see in their own module. The text Pulp Friction is actually a pretty clever way pun of Pulp Fiction, the Quentin Tarantino movie from 1998. But in here it's about pulp. And the main idea of paragraph 1 is B, logging is destroying the rainforest. Okay, number 2, the main idea of paragraph 2 is C, Canada is a major supplier of paper and pulp. 3, the main idea of paragraph 3 is A paper could be made from hemp instead of trees. The main idea of paragraph 4 is C, it is illegal to grow hemp. And 5, the main idea of paragraph 5, recently many people have been working to legalize hemp. All right, next slide.
About
All right.
vocabulary question, number 1.
Okay. Vocabulary question. Okay, every second, 1 hectare of the world's rainforest is destroyed. That's equivalent to 2 football fields. What does equivalent to mean? Okay, from the context, we can see that equivalent is C, the same as. In 2, British Columbia, where since 1990, 13 rainforest valleys have been clear-cut, 142 species of salmon have already become extinct. What does clear-cut mean? The meaning is B, many trees have been cut down. Okay, 3. Logging, however, provides jobs, profits, taxes for the government, and cheap products of all kinds of consumers. So the government is reluctant to restrict or control it. What does reluctant mean? It's A, doesn't want to. Okay. 4, according to its proponents, 4 times as much paper can be produced from land using hemp rather than trees. What does proponents means? B, it's B, people who support something. 5, in the late 1930s, a movement to ban the drug marijuana began to gather force. What does gather force mean? It's B, it's getting stronger, it gets stronger. Number 6, one group of activists believe that all cannabis should be legal. What does activist mean? It's A, people trying to change something. 7, many species of wildlife are becoming extinct. Question. The rainforests are being destroyed. The answer is B, since many species of wildlife are becoming extinct since the rainforests are being destroyed. Number 8, logging provides jobs and profits. The government is reluctant to control it. It's D. Since logging provides jobs and profits, the government is reluctant to control it. Number 9, hemp can be used to make paper. It could reduce the need for logging. It's B. Hemp can be used for paper, so it could reduce the need for logging. Number 10, hemp was grown throughout history. Its Its versatility, it can be used to make any different things. Due to ham was grown throughout history due to its versatility. It can be used to make many different things. Number 11, ham is related to marijuana plant. ... It is illegal in many countries. As a result, the answer is as a result. Ham is related to marijuana plant. As a result, it is illegal in many countries. Number 12, ham cannot be used to produce marijuana. ... Its low THC content. The answer is C, because of ham cannot be used to produce marijuana because of its low THC content. 13. Marijuana is less toxic than alcohol or tobacco. ... Some people believe it should be legalized. The answer is B. Marijuana is less toxic than alcohol or tobacco, therefore, some people believe it should be legalized. Number 14. ... Canada has legalized hemp farming. We can expect to see pulp and paper produced from hemp very soon. The answer is D, as Canada has legalized hemp farming, we can expect to see pulp and paper produced from hemp very soon.
Okay, I will try to explain exercise 3. I'm sorry we didn't provide the text from the
That's okay.
the SFR module, but it's very long because we already have like
that's okay.
more than 25 slides, so I'll be quick. The first main idea of each paragraph. The first paragraph is personal qualities are desirable in a teacher. The second paragraph, teacher's personality should be a pleasantly live and attractive. For the third paragraph, the main idea of the third paragraph is genuine capacity for sympathy. For the fourth paragraph, a teacher to be both intellectually and morally honest. For the fifth paragraph, a teacher must remain mentally alert. For the sixth paragraph, a teacher must be capable of infinite patience. And for lastly, the seventh paragraph, a teacher should have the kind of mind which always wants to go on learning. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, so that's all, from group 4, So